Hey, what's up? This is BreakmanX, and welcome to the game show on October 15th, 2025. How is it going?
Going great. I'm back from Cleveland. I'm
bad.
back home.
Nice. Are you ready for a spooky evening?
Spooky?
Spooky. It's going to get real scary up here. It's so scary I don't have my light on. Boo.
Ah!
Yeah, are you ready for some scary times?
Yeah, let's do it. It is spooky season. Let's do it.
It is spooky season. Awesome.
It's always
Cool.
spooky season for me, so I'm totally in.
Yeah, have you had a good week, Jack? Did you have a good week this week?
Yeah, it was pretty good. I got back, so I will say I'm a little bummed. While I was in Cleveland, I did not get the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
But Cleveland didn't rock.
It did. It was okay. It mildly rocked. I did though get to go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame gift shop in the Cleveland airport though. So I got some.
Well, there you go. It's like the same thing, right?
Just it's exactly the same. They had Foo Fighters playing. It was like I was right there.
Was Dave Grohl actually there?
No, he was not. Somebody else was working on it.
Oh, okay. Jess, how was your week?
Yeah, not too bad. A lot of the same old, spending a lot of time writing, which is fun for me, if a little bit tedious after you spend 8 hours a day doing it for 5 days a week, but still having a good time with it.
Nice. Well, you're good at it, so that's good. But the game
That's what
show
they say.
the game show is a celebration since 2002 of video games and our collective interests mixed with a healthy dose of humor while bringing in our favorite people of the game and movie industries on as guests, except tonight. And I should say I had a good week too. I forgot to talk about me. I'm also here, and I had fun. I celebrated, or not celebrated. I recollected on the Xbox and played some games. I got Panzer Dragoon Orta loaded up on the OG one, which was fun because my save's still there.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so
How far into it were you?
I was at the end.
Oh.
So it was fun to go hit continue, and I remember I was like, oh, I'm right there. I remember that. And then played some Eco on PS2 because I haven't played it since it came out, and lots of people, I heard someone talking about it. So, and right before the show, YouTube went down for a significant amount of time, and you might notice, I think they updated things, the player looks a little bit different, and the heat map thing is transparent now. So the thing that shows the most viewed part of the videos, the little thing, it used to be white, now it's kind of transparent. I don't know if it's an improvement. You guys tell me. By the way, if you want to tell me, just comment below on the YouTube video, and I've been reading all the comments you guys post throughout the week and responding to them, and there's a lot of fun ones. We got one from Yoshi Vu, who does all the CG work for GameSack and also movies such as Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. So it was fun. Hey Yoshi, it was fun to get your comment. I first responded to him, and then I go, wait, I remember who you are. And then he responded, he's just like, I'm just a guy that likes games. So that was pretty cool. Fair. But with that said, Jack, why don't we hit up the news of the week?
Yeah, so this has been a pretty exciting week. First thing I'll say, Battlefield 6 is out. You can go play it now. I've been playing it the last few nights, and I know JB, if he's listening in, will concur. The multiplayer is awesome. Single player is fine. It's got spectacle to it, but the plot is nonsense. But that's not really why you're going to a Battlefield game, is it? You're going for the multiplayer, and the multiplayer is amazing. I'm not a huge fan of some of the unlocks. If people have been playing for a little while, they definitely have a leg up on people that just started. So you just gotta kind of grind out a little bit to get going. But it's really great. I'm having a blast with it. Next up on the list, Dan Forden, Mr. Toasty himself at NetherRealm Studios, has retired after 36 years in the game industry. He is calling it quits. Exactly. So, kudos to him. I mean, the sound guy that became an icon, especially if you were a Mortal Kombat fan. Kudos to you, and not a lot of people get to go out on their own terms. So that's pretty awesome to see.
Yeah, we had this guy that lived with us. He kind of became like my second brother. He lived with us for like 10 years from India, Suba. What's up, Suba, if you're out there? We played a lot of games together. But anyway, Toasty Guy will always remind me of him because we were playing one night and the guy popped out and he was like, he thought he was hallucinating because he'd never played Mortal Kombat before. And it's not like he hallucinated or anything. He just thought it was really weird that this guy pops up at the bottom of the screen and goes, Toasty! It was funny.
Wow.
I'll always remember that. It'll always remind me of that because it was, and I kind of let it go. Like, oh, what? I didn't see anything.
Yeah.
What'd you see?
So it's crazy. So like, if you want to listen to this, like this is just a murderer's row of games that he worked on. So starting with pinball, you got Black Knight 2000, Bad Cats, Roller Games, Riverboat Gambler, The Machine Bride of Pinbot, The Getaway, High Speed 2, Star Trek The Next Generation, my favorite of all time, No Fear, Dangerous Sports, Medieval Madness, another classic, Atlantis, Mousing Around, Harley Davidson, The Party Zone, The Pinball Circus, The Shadow, Attack from Mars, Safecracker, Revenge from Mars, and The Simpsons Pinball Party. And that's just the pinball games. If you go to the video games too, I mean, it's like I said, just hit after hit. Arch Rivals, Super High Impact Football, Mortal Kombat 1, 2, 3, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, MK Trilogy, Mortal Kombat Mythologies, Mortal Kombat 4, MK Special Forces, Kart Fury, WWF Raw, NFL Blitz 2002,
Jeez,
Mortal Kombat
Louise.
Deadly Alliance, Slugfest 2003, MLB Slugfest 2004, PsyOps, The Mindgate Conspiracy.
I need to play that again too.
Yeah, NBA Ballers, Mortal Kombat Deception, MLB Slugfest Loaded, Unreal Championship 2, Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks, Blitz the League, NBA Ballers Phenom, Mortal Kombat Armageddon, Slugfest 2006, Mortal Kombat 9, Batman Arkham City Lockdown, Injustice, WWE Immortals, Mortal Kombat 10, Injustice 2, and Mortal Kombat 11.
Jeez, and there's some really good sound design in those games too.
Exactly. Yeah. It is a heck of a career. I mean, and kudos to him for all the work he's done in video games.
Sure. Awesome.
Yeah.
To get a Warriors send off.
Ed Boon should at least buy him dinner.
There you go.
Let's see. Next up on the news list, Windows 10 has officially reached the end of support. So if you're still running Windows 10 at home, good luck. You get to throw your computer in the trash because Microsoft won't support it any longer. So, kind of SOL there. Now, to be fair, you can pay like an extra $60 for another year of support. I know it. I just think it's kind of a really crappy situation. Being an IT guy that I am, like there are machines that just cannot run Windows 11 because they don't have the TPM module. Like they put some really weird restrictions on Windows 11 from a security standpoint. I get it. I know why they did it. Go ahead.
Are they gonna continue to release security updates?
No, it's the end of updates, period. Like no security updates unless you're paying for it, the extra support. I have found that there is if you want to go out and look for it is an IoT version of Windows 10. Apparently that will have support for another 10 years, but you've got to upgrade your version or downgrade your version of Windows 10 to that if you want to continue to get security updates and regular updates.
Well, I might have to put my
Plex $60.
My Plex server might have to become Linux because it will not run Windows 11.
Yeah, and that's
a really crappy PC.
Yeah, my arcade game's in the same boat. It just doesn't have it. It's a laptop, or not a laptop, but it's a motherboard that was made within the last 6 years. It doesn't have a TPM chip on it, so I can't put Windows 11 on it. So I'm just kind of SOL. It's just going to sit there and be a malware machine, I guess.
There you go. Is it connected to the internet?
It is connected to the internet, because how else am I going to play, X-Men against people or with people from across the United States or wherever?
That is true. Well, enjoy the malware.
Yeah.
When did Windows 10 come out? It's been a while.
Windows 10 came out, I want to say
2014,
2015, yeah.
July 29th, 2015.
It's been, I mean, it's 10 years. I
10
get
years.
it. But still, like, if you look at you just look at Steam and the Steam survey, like, there's still
Tons of big
millions of machines running Windows 10 out there.
Yeah.
And that probably can't upgrade, just like me. So, you know, it's one of those things, like I said, if you can find a way to upgrade or just change to a different version, but there are ways to still get updates. If you are, you know, if you look around a little bit.
I mean, I love operating systems. I love computers. Windows, the audio stack drives me crazy. It's super buggy for any kind of studio usage. Windows has great things. Don't think I hate Windows. I mean, for games and so many things, it's like obviously superior. But the creative app stuff is not so good, which has been disappointing.
Yeah.
But can't win them all.
Yep. I'll hit some of these next ones here real quick. Steam NextFest is going on, so check out some games there. Some awesome demos that are free. Let's see, there is a demo out. The Luminous Arise demo is back and it's working again, so check that out. It also works with Steam Deck this time around, so if you got a Steam Deck, you should really check it out. My favorite that I've seen so far is Skate Story. I won't spoil too much, but the premise is you're essentially a demon skateboarder that is trying to fight the forces of evil. It's pretty rad. You should go just check it out. Just check out the Steam page. It's pretty great. Also, House of the Dead 2 is getting a remake that is coming out on October 24th, so next week.
Nice.
And if there was any House of the Dead game that was going to get a remake, I'm glad it's that one because that's probably my favorite.
That's pretty cool.
I think I memorized.
Are there going to be guns to shoot at the screen?
Doubtful. I highly doubt.
Will we use controllers?
I don't know. I'm sure you could.
Maybe animals? Just kidding. All right, Jess. Your turn.
Yeah, so I was going to bring this up last week, but then we were all kind of sad and bummed about Xbox. And I was like, well, I don't want to add another bummer to the list. But there has been the EA deal that has been announced.
Yes.
And that EA is going private and they have been bought by maybe not the best people.
A bunch of private equity, isn't it?
It's more than that.
It's more than that. Saudi Arabia private investment fund is our public investment fund. Sorry, is the big one. Jared Kushner.
Oh God.
So as someone whose like two favorite games are Dragon Age and The Sims, not feeling great about the future of.
I know, it's sad.
Yeah, and
any of it.
And it's not so much the fact that it's just those players that are involved with this. It's the fact that it's a leveraged buyout.
Yes.
So essentially what that means is they are putting EA into $20 million or $20 billion more in debt to do this. And so they are overvaluing the company, and then they're going to saddle EA, what's left of EA or what's coming in, with $20 billion of debt. Well, they will have to pay off over a certain amount of time. So essentially, any profits they make on anything will go directly to paying off that debt and the interest on that debt before they go to pay anybody else off, including the investors. So if you think about it, while they won't have a board that they have to report to, or I'm sorry, public investors that they have to show, quarter over quarter growth to, they will still have to pay their lenders, which means you will probably see, I'm going to guess this is the end of innovation for EA. Now, I could be wrong. I'm hoping I'm not, but I think it means like even more Madden, even more like focus on the core sports, FC 25 or FC whatever, Madden, Sims. I think, Jess, you might get a lot of Sims out of this. But I think like Dragon Age, Mass Effect, I think those are probably toast. I would love to be wrong, but they're going to focus on what's going to make them a lot of money very quickly.
That's
well, and the infuriating part about the Sims is that like I don't necessarily think you're wrong and that they're going to like crank out more stuff. I think the vast majority of Sims players, myself included, are not necessarily super excited about the idea of just a bunch of like packs that are going to cost us $40 to $60 each time, and especially since I don't think they're going to be putting like the effort into it or like bothering to take the time to actually fix a lot of the stuff in the Sims 4 that like needs to be fixed. I can't imagine that any of it's going to be treated with any kind of care or be exciting in the ways that like, because we're already kind of like irritated as Sims players of like I don't even want to consider how much money I have thrown at even just The Sims 4, not even getting into everything prior to that. And so it's just kind of disappointing, and I'm like, we're just going to get more of the things that like are kind of irritating about it, as opposed to anything that like actually feels like it's moving the game forward.
Yeah. I think you're right there. I also think, I suspect we're probably going to see a lot of layoffs there just because of the debt that's being taken on, which is sad because there's already been enough there. And then you probably also have, not to mention, we've seen this already before. The Saudi Public Investment Fund, the PIF, already has heavy investments in companies like SNK. And I don't know if you guys checked out the latest Mark of the Wolves sequel, City of the Wolves. It ain't great. And there were some very specific asks from, at least there has been insinuated there were a lot of specific asks from the royal family about what to include and what not to include.
It's all the quality. It's all about the creativeness.
Yep. So I share your trepidation on this, Jess. This is not good.
I have trepidation games. Too.
Yeah. I'm sure you do.
There was a cold wind just blew on this creepy night, and it brought in Logan. How are you doing this week, sir?
Doing fantastic. Got off of a nice little film shoot project last weekend, as per usual lately. And then I'm going to a film festival starting tomorrow. And I've seen some movies this week, saw Good Boy, and like watched Tron Ares, which wasn't that good, but then rewatched Legacy, which was good.
Was the music good at least?
Was Good Boy better than Tron Ares?
Huh?
Was Good Boy better than Tron Ares?
Actually, yeah. Good Boy was really innovative.
I've heard.
On the topic of it. Yeah, no, that was a really unique perspective, and they put a lot of thought into how to portray that dog. It's one of the probably the most emotive dog performances, and I think it actually really comes down to the editing and the way they convey information.
That's awesome.
Nice. Sounds good. Yeah, I want to see Tron or I guess I just can listen to the soundtrack.
The soundtrack's amazing. The story doesn't have much to offer. Oh, it's really, really shallow. And unfortunately, visuals weren't great either. Composition wasn't...
Just firing on all cylinders.
I say that's like the one reason I go to see Tron.
Right.
The VFX,
I'm with the visuals.
EA bought
the
that
VFX
too.
was good, but like if you compare it to Tron Legacy, it's just a bit of a mess. It's not very well organized. So a lot of the information isn't clear, and it just kind of runs together.
Yeah. I will say, I think my favorite thing about Tron Ares coming out is that they finally put a 4K release of Tron Legacy out. So I picked that up like as soon as it came out.
Oh yeah, what did you think of it?
It's the actual Blu-ray, the 4K Blu-ray of it is really great. Like the transfer looks amazing.
Oh, that's cool. That's really interesting
because the previous transfer I'd seen like years ago wasn't that great.
Yeah. Now the Blu-ray release for Tron Legacy was not great.
Yeah.
But this one they did it right.
Nice. Ooh, I'll have to check it out. That's always exciting. Cool. Well, there's some good news. We'll end out this segment with some good news after, EA getting destroyed or not destroyed, but just scary things occurring. Speaking of scary things occurring, tonight's show is all about scary things. It is October. It is spooky season. And so to celebrate said spooky season, we're going to talk about some scary games. We're going to actually start out with games that scare us. Although I have to say, There's one game on my list that like really actually scared me. The other ones were like creepy and like provided like some intensity, but I wouldn't say that they necessarily like scared me beyond just one of them. But that said, actually two of them scared me. The first one, and unfortunately I don't know what the name was, but Andrew Allen out there, I used to be very negative towards VR there for a while, towards the beginning of VR, because for me it would just make me nauseous. I didn't really play anything that I thought was interesting. So when I went out to visit him, one of the more recent times, or I guess it was a while ago now, but when I went out to visit him, he was like, okay, I'm going to talk you into liking VR. I was like, okay, try it. So first thing he does is he puts on the headset on me, and all of a sudden I'm bungee jumping. Like I'm literally falling really fast down a thing, and and I could feel it too. Like I was like, really felt like I was falling. That was scary. But then the next one he showed me, and unfortunately, again, I don't know the name of it because he just was like hit after hit, in games. He's just like, okay, now play this one. And so I'm in like this scary dark house, and I don't really know what's happening. And then all of a sudden, I turn around, and there's like this scary little ghost girl, like the Ring type chick. And it was really scary. And you kind of walk around the house, and she's like in all the worst places to jump out and scare you. So that was actually scary. And I wasn't at all expecting it. I mean, I went from falling down a cliff, like really visually falling down a cliff, to, scary ghost girl.
Yeah, VR can do some really crazy stuff. There was a game I was playing. I can't remember what the name of it is. I've got it. I had it on my original Rift. But like, it was a game where it was like a maze, and you had to look down at the map to see where you were, and like things would move, like things would shift in the room when you looked down at your map. And so like, it was one of those things where like, you didn't want to look at the map because you would see a statue in front of you. You'd look down at the map, and then it would be like right in front of your face. And you're like, oh God. And like, you would just hear noises kind of coming from all around you. Like something was like, you would hear footsteps behind you. I was just like, oh, I don't want to turn around. Just keep walking. And so VR can do some pretty incredible stuff when it's used properly.
Now, I found that out that day. I still don't have a VR headset. It just doesn't appeal to me. I respect it. I think there's some really great stuff on it. It's just, for me, I would much rather play a game on a TV screen.
I mean, now especially, I think VR is kind of done again, unless Valve's got something they're cooking up, which I doubt it. But like, Sony's not putting any more money on it. Microsoft's killed support for the augmented reality headsets. So I think unless like Meta's still trying to pump money into it, I think it's pretty much done, at least for a little while.
Yeah. So maybe I'm not alone in that. I don't know. Although the game Andrew Allen, the games that he ended up making were pretty cool. But yes, Jack.
Yeah. All right. So my first game I want to talk about is something it should be familiar to a lot of people here. Silent Hill, the original Silent Hill, and all of its foggy goodness on the PlayStation 1. There was something about that game and the fact that it was totally polygonal that made it a little more creepy than Resident Evil, which was established. Like they had 2 Resident Evil entries before the first Silent Hill came out. But something about the radio, like when you play it, you have the radio on you, and the radio is kind of what tells you if there are monsters close by. So like you've got all this fog, you can't see anything, but all of a sudden the static on this radio you've got just starts getting louder and louder, and you're like, oh God, something's coming. And all of a sudden it'll be like this misshapen bird out of like nowhere comes and tries to kill you, or a hell dog or something like that. And it is an extremely creepy game. I think it was groundbreaking in a different way than Resident Evil was, and it still kind of remains like, I don't think the game is overall really that great, but in terms of creating a creepy atmosphere and creating just a tension that is really just push and pull the entire way through the game between the fog and the radio. I like it's something that the rest of the games in the series kind of leaned on their entire way through. Maybe not so much later on, but especially through the first like 3 games, I think.
I completely agree. And I love the use of the fog.
Yes.
Yeah. Using the console's limitations to its advantage.
Yes. Not since John Carpenter have we had a better use of fog.
Yeah. Without a doubt.
Except for Turok 2.
No. That's the exact opposite.
No, I'm kidding. All right, Logan, did you have one?
So I discovered tonight that I have not played a horror game prior to 2021. So, yeah, I don't have one that really fits in the time period that we're discussing. But, like, I can pull some more recent stuff.
Do it.
Sure.
I just don't want you to feel left out, so go ahead.
Okay, I'll talk about Five Nights at Freddy's.
FNAF.
The original one.
All right.
Yeah. I haven't played it for very much, probably because I made a mistake and bought the Switch version, which was really terrible to try to play. It was definitely designed for mouse. But honestly, I think that just made it a little bit creepier because you're there trying to fumble through the controls as you're in this little room and you can't move, and all you can do is like open and close doors strategically and look at the cameras, and it like really tests your focus. And there's just something about all of that happening around you, and you're just stuck in one spot that makes it really a very creepy game.
Yes.
And, you know, it spawned a massive franchise with crazy lore, too, so there's that.
Are you
That
excited
works.
about the new Five Nights at Freddy's movie that is coming out?
Yeah, it looks fun. I thought the first one was okay. I thought the animatronics looked great. And everything else was fine. But, you know, they seem to have been responding to, like, been really trying to up the ante on the second movie here a little bit. And I've seen some of the set photos, and they look really amazing. So, yeah, I'm excited to go see that one.
It seems like they're really leaning into it with the second one.
Yeah, I think the first one was just trying to, like, get as many people exposed to it as possible.
Mhm.
And now they're going to start really diving into what makes the franchise unique.
Yeah. Here's hoping.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. All right, Jess, you're up.
So I want to preface this by saying that since we're doing more of like retro games, all of these games I played as a relatively small child. And so I'm going off of my memory of if I found them scary as like a 10-year-old or younger. I doubt most of them I would feel similarly about today. But one of the first ones that came to my mind that I played that I absolutely loved because it's based off of one of my favorite TV shows of all time is the Buffy the Vampire Slayer game for Xbox.
Yeah.
It's a great one.
Which I remember just having so much fun with. And the idea that you get to like be Buffy, and you know it was voice acted, and it really felt like part of the world. And like it was like you were getting attacked by vampires, and I remember like, you know, sometimes it would get kind of intense and you did kind of like freak out of like, oh, they're gonna get me. So I played that a lot as a kid, and it was probably one of the first like real scary games I played. Quote unquote scary.
Spooky.
But it still holds a like really special place in my heart.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
That is.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, it's one of the better Xbox games. My Life in Gaming played it a few months, maybe a year ago. But I actually played it a little bit recently too on my Xbox. It's a good game.
Who was the developer?
I really
on
want to
that?
play it again.
You should. It's really good. Buffy for Xbox. Let's see who the developer was. Oh, not Buddy. Can't
The
type.
Collective. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the
Gotcha.
Collective did some really good stuff.
All right, for my next one, I'm going to cheat, but I got inspired. I'm going to tell a true game show story.
Uh-oh.
Jack, you were not, I don't think, around for this. Logan and Jess have heard this story relatively. recently. But okay. So, and if anyone out there remembers which show this was, because I've tried to find which show it was, so I could listen to it again, and I have not been able to, because I don't mention it on the show at all. It's not. So anyway, I'll just tell the story and it'll make more sense. All right, so we were doing a show sometime 2006-ish, and we're doing the show. Everything's normal, and I believe. It was afterward. I got a message from Mecca, and he was like, "What the hell happened at like this point in the show?" And I was like, "What do you mean? Like, what happened?" He's like, "Someone was some weird thing happened at the show, and it cut out and all this stuff." So I was like, "Okay." We didn't hear anything, and I didn't believe him. I thought he was messing with me. So I went back and I listened to the recording, and at the point he said, it does cut out right at that part, and you can hear "help me," like exactly like that. Like it cuts out, you hear like just terrible static, and then you hear help me," like exactly that kind of cadence.
Weird.
And so I was kind of freaked out about it, so I showed Richie, I showed the other hosts. None of them heard it live, but they definitely heard it in the recording. There's some talk about it, I think, in the forums too, definitely in the chat room, where people were trying to figure out what the heck it was. And so, you know, it's still just this unexplained crazy occurrence. And like I said, we don't talk about it during the show, so I don't know which show it was. And we only did like 650 of them, so trying to find exactly which one it is. At some point, I'm going to stumble upon it, and I'll play it for everybody. Yeah. But it's literally the weirdest thing. Like we're talking, whatever happens, and there's this really weird noise. There's like a static as well as like a hum. It's like, and then like like at the same time, and you very clearly hear help me," like exactly like that cadence. Like, and we all cut out. The show cuts out.
Wow. So,
you know, practical scientific explanation could be like it somehow cut into like a radio broadcast or something. But weird timing, weird that it would, you know, that someone's microphone picked up. But anyway, fun story.
I remember trying to dig through the archives for that. I haven't found it yet.
I know. I really hope someone's like, "Oh yeah, it's this one." It seems like it would have been 2006-ish.
Yes, that would maybe after I was there.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was 2006, 2007. I even asked Mecca about it. He remembered it, but he didn't remember which show it was. So, anyone out there, if you remember, let me know. All right, Jack, you can talk about an actual game.
All right. No worries. That's, man, I wish I had kind of been there to experience it.
Yeah, it was weird. It was super. Well, we didn't know it then. It was not until we listened to the, people during the stream heard it, and then the recording had it.
Yeah. Weird. So let's talk about the granddaddy of them all, Alone in the Dark, for the original IBM PC compatible. So back before Edward Carnby looked like the sheriff from Stranger Things, Edward Carnby was a very small polygonal man that looked very proper in the late 1800s. Alone in the Dark is kind of the precursor to Resident Evil. I mean, it's really the OG Resident Evil. Like, you're in a haunted mansion. You're trying to find out what's going on. There's some weird cultish things going on. There's zombies. There's other kind of otherworldly beasts around the mansion, and you've got to kind of figure out what happened to the owner and why. I think he kills himself. But you're there basically to find out what's going on with his will and what's happening to his property. Anyway, it's a really fun game. It's very frustrating though, because it is like one of the first one of these things. So the controls for like a 1994 3 PC game are not great. But if you can figure out how to make it work and work within its tool set, it's a very fun, very creepy game. And at the time, like just kind of like your situation, like I was playing this game in like, I don't know, like I said, 94. I was maybe like 11, 12 years old. and it was super creepy. Like you look at it today, like you look at a screenshot, and it's just like, whatever. This looks dumb. But like at the time, like I was just like, oh my god, I like went from one side of the room to another, and then there's a zombie right there. I'm like, I'm out of shotgun. Oh no. And so it was very intense. And 12-year-old me was extremely frightened by that game for quite a while. And I still have not. I've gone back to play it again. Not like I've played the new ones too. The new-ish one that just came out a few years ago with David Harbour is actually not bad. Stay away from the one that was released in like 2000 from Infogram. Like it's terrible.
Yeah, the graphics on that original one were creepy too. They're really super jagged, and there was something kind of just surreal and weird about the graphics to begin with.
Yeah, I mean it was pre-3D cards, so like it was all software rendering.
I have to say, I'm really digging the OC remix that's playing right now. It's the Gyarus Stage 1 theme remix by Reza. So if you're listening to this right now in the background, you should check this out. It's rocking. All right, and when Maul joins, I'm gonna ask him about the Help Me, if he remembers, because I think he was around during that time. All right, Logan, do you have another one, or should we go on to Jess?
I'll do one more, but not like burn too much before part 2. So
okay.
Next one I'll do is Phasmophobia, which is really the first. Yeah, it is a really good one. It's the first horror game that I've played significantly. I've got like a couple hundred hours in the game now. And I just love that experience of being scared together. Like I've really mostly played the multiplayer. I played single player a couple of times, which is terrifying. But there's just something about being together and then like hearing somebody scream across the map. And then you come and like try to figure out what happened, or you know you're running around and like you dodge a ghost and the ghost like tracks your friend that was hiding nearby and like goes and kills them. It's a bit of a blast. And the ghosts, admittedly, it's not the most bug-free game out there. The ghosts tend to behave a little odd sometimes, but it's a part of the charm. Like they're unpredictable, which keeps them fresh and exciting.
Nice. It's a good one.
Awesome.
It's a good pick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a good pick.
Yeah.
Even if the ghosts act a little weird, but you know they're ghosts. That's just how they act.
No, they will act weird.
You were dead, you'd act the same way.
There's been like a few times I think where the ghost even forgot to just like attack people. It was just roaming around, and like I sat next to it one time just chilling.
I mean, that is best case scenario. I hope if I'm ever haunted by a ghost, it forgets to attack me.
Like, guys, don't move.
Okay, this needs to be the real Malachi. Make it so. This is a good one.
Yes. No, they're working on a major update. It's been in the works for a while, but like they've got a Trello page. You can kind of see what they're working on.
Oh, that's nice.
And they've been building what they call Horror 2.0, which I don't really know what it's going to look like, but they're going to totally revamp how the ghosts can scare you, which will be cool. Because right now the ghosts are kind of limited to. I'm imagining they're going to do some more like interesting effect type stuff. At least that's what I'd like to see, where the ghost can do have some more unique abilities. Because right now they're mostly just limited to their like physical character model that chases you around, which believe me is still scary. But like it'd be fun to see them do some weird like illusion type stuff. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah,
that'd be cool. All right, Jess, you're up.
So this is actually the last one on my list of ones that were actually like scary or creepy. Again, mostly because for these early ones I was a child and there was an amount of limiting the scary stuff that I was allowed to play. But Jack has already brought it up a couple times, and I know he has a couple of the games on his list. But Resident Evil 0, specifically, for the GameCube.
Good choice.
Was one that I really loved. It was a GameCube exclusive, and I'm the kind of person I am a fan of, because I played the Resident Evil 1 on the GameCube as well. And I'm one of those weird people that absolutely loves a prequel. Like, I love to be able to go back and like find out what happened that like led us to the place. And so I actually think in the grand scheme of things, I like 0 better than the first one.
Oh.
And I don't know if that's just a nostalgia thing or if it's because of how much I loved the characters. But I do think...
I think 0 is really good. I remember it was when Richie first got a GameCube. I finally convinced him to get one. And he got that. I think that was one of the first games he got. And I remember that was my first time seeing it, was playing it with him, and then I got it shortly after. But yeah, I loved Resident Evil 0. That you start out on a train, right?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. I haven't played it since I played it that first time. But I really liked it. I liked the atmosphere. I liked the way it looked. I liked that the GameCube was getting some games like that, at least for a while.
It was a lot of fun, and like I rented them. I wasn't allowed to like own them, and I was only able to rent them when Dad took me to the rental store and not Mom, because I think she would have looked at it and been like, absolutely not.
That's great.
But yeah, I really loved it, and again, I haven't played either of them in a very long time, so I don't know if this opinion of liking 0 better would hold up if I played them both again nowadays. But I do. That one does like stand out in my brain more.
0 definitely has its backers for sure, and there's something about the introduction of the more creepy, like slug-like, slime-like, like snakes that are not snakes, but you know what I mean. Those are everywhere in that game. It is a little upsetting compared to like just the normal zombie stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I liked it. Apparently YouTube's having some issues again. It's good on my end. So hopefully you're not having some issues. It was down for a little bit earlier today. But I was just looking at the story, and apparently people are still having an issue. So
weird.
If not, you can watch it later. But all right, back to the issue at hand. I'm going to, because I want to get to the next one, so that way Jess has some stuff to talk about. She got some good stuff on that next part of the list. I'm gonna skip my next. So I'll just say it briefly. Silent Hill 2 for PS2. I like that one a lot. Again, lots of use of fog. Very good game. Haven't played it in forever. I need to play it again. But the next one I'm going to go with is Resident Evil 4. And again, not a game that like terrified me, but there were some parts in that game that were genuinely creepy and a little bit scary. There were some jumps in there. The atmosphere was pretty creepy and scary to it. So I'd put it up there.
I can go with you on that. I think I wouldn't call it like there are certainly creepy parts to it, but I would call Resident Evil 4, especially the remake 2, both of those games I would call harrowing more than scary or creepy. Like, because you just feel like you are just being chased at just about every single moment.
That's true. And I can go with harrowing.
When you're not being chased, you've got like, you're fighting a room full of cultists that have like every advantage over you. It's one of my top 10 of all time, and it's certainly one where I've got to be in the right frame of mind to go into it. Otherwise, you just kind of look at everything and you're like, here we go. And there's always that push and pull of, should I save before I go into this room, or should I just go into this room and know I'm going to have to repeat like the last 15 minutes of this game if I die in here.
It has a nice ambiance of harrowing.
Without a doubt. Yeah. It's always kind of, that dread is just kind of always there.
I love the way you describe things, Jack. I always have. No, seriously. Harrowing is exactly right. I like it. All right, Jack, your turn.
Yeah, so I've got more on this list too, so I'll kind of skip ahead. I'm going to talk about Godzilla Monster of Monsters. I don't know if any of you have ever played this for the NES. it's a Godzilla game. So like ultimately right there, it should just be like, hey, it's Godzilla. This is going to be fun. And it is fun to a degree. It kind of plays a little bit like a game of chess or like a 4X game where like you actually have like a board, and for each planet you go to, Godzilla like moves across the board. You have resources. You have like little like I won't say platforming levels at each place, but like there are certain monsters you have to fight through anyway. At the end of each level, there is or each planet, you have to fight one of, the Godzilla monster bosses. So like Ghidorah or Rodan or one of, just you name it, they're in there. And a few years ago, I want to say like maybe 2005, 2010, somewhere around there, there was a really interesting creepypasta that came out about that game. And then not only was the creepypasta really good, you should really read it if you haven't had a chance. Just Google Godzilla NES creepypasta. But then somebody went and made the actual ROM that the creepypasta was based off of. And it is just frightening. Like, it is very, very unsettling. So I would highly recommend, if you're looking for something to kind of just give you the creepy vibes and just give you a chill down your spine, go read the creepypasta and then go play the ROM, if you can find it, of the Godzilla Monster of Monsters.
I've got it up.
Yeah.
When I searched the Godzilla NES game, that's the first thing that came up was the creepypasta.
Yeah.
And Maul appeared. How's it going, Maul?
Oh, hey, Maul. What's up?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
What's up? Did you have a good week?
Yeah, I've been just Halloweening the shit out of things this month.
Yeah, that's what you should do. I love Halloween. Like the movie or the holiday or both?
I love both. Yeah, the holidays, the whole month, basically. Yeah. I have a lot of stuff coming up for work starting next month, and my boss asked if, like, the schedule was going to work, and I was like, yeah, my year's done after Halloween. Like, I don't really get into, like, Thanksgiving and Christmas as much. Like, that's the end of my calendar year, and then there's, like, I don't know, like a 3-month, like, downtime called, the doldrums, and then we get back at it, like, in springtime. So
yeah, no, Halloween's like the best. So I have a question for you. I don't know if you remember this or not, but I talked about it earlier in the show. So I think it was, I don't know, 2006, 2007, somewhere around the period there. There was a show, we're talking about Scary Things, where sometimes towards the beginning of it, the listeners heard, we didn't hear it in the studio, but the listeners heard, and it's in the recording as well. I have the recording, but I don't remember what show it's on, so I can't find it, but I definitely have it. But anyway, it's the show kind of cuts out. You hear like a and a hum, and you hear help me, and it's none of our voices. Do you remember that?
I vaguely, and it sounds creepy enough you'd think I'd remember it more, but I remember I only vaguely remember people kind of talking about it, and we kind of went around on it and got creeped out a little bit. The thing is, your old house, where we had this, the original show at, had both, like, a lot of kind of genuinely weird, kind of creepy things going on. I remember you having a lot of, like, paranormal experiences. They're not anything that I ever got to see, firsthand. So. But,
I have one video. I'll just show you a video.
Maybe you were gaslighting me. I don't know. But, he'd showed me some videos from time to time that were kind of creepy. But then also, we did have some things that were like, oh, that's really creepy. And then we found out that, like, there was nothing. Like, when you were in the backyard and we got the picture of the ghost girl. And then we found out later it was just a picture of Richie upside down.
I don't remember that one. That sounds... sounds hilarious.
There was a photo. It was in the dark. Like, I remember there was something like noise in the backyard, and you guys went out there.
That's
and
hilarious.
Took a picture in the dark.
I love that.
And you were like, "Look at this! Look at this! It's a ghost girl or something." It was it's a ghostly white figure with like long dark hair, or whatever. And then later, like, we were looking at it, we just turned it upside down, and it was Richie just standing there, and it was like his black T-shirt where we thought the hair was, or something like that. And
that's awesome. Wow. I do kind of remember that now. No, that house. while we're Halloweening, that house had some really weird stuff. that happened, and it didn't just happen to me. There was one person, I don't think she wants me to say, but saw an apparition appear.
Yes, I recall her telling us about this apparition.
That was
too.
Was the biggest one that like it appeared as like a ball of light, and then it gradually turned into like the figure of a person. And then when I walked in the room, it didn't explode, but it like flashed. Like I could see the flash. And then the help me thing. There was in the downstairs living room, the main downstairs living room, right in the middle of the floor one day when I woke up, and I was the only one living in there at that point. Right in the middle of the floor, there was a woman's muddy footprint just in the middle of the floor, and it wasn't like a little bit of mud, but like super caked in mud, high heel.
Oh wow!
And it was like in the middle of the room, like far away from all entrances. And yeah, there was one day we were about to go get a video at Blockbuster, and BreakmanX had all the cabinets open. What?
R.I.P. Blockbuster.
Oh, R.I.P. Blockbuster. I was like, okay, yeah, I missed it. Sorry, it went over my head. But all the cabinets were open, and we were about to leave, and right before we left, they all shut at the same time.
Okay.
Whoa.
Well, so the thing is that in retrospect, all of them are Richie.
They're all Richie.
Yeah.
I can see that. This next one could be. So the creepiest, actually, the video that I could show you. Do you remember Omar/Beaks? He floated around every once in a while.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So anyway, he was like, okay, let's do a ghost thing, and let's do a night vision video in this room that's supposedly haunted. And I was like, okay, that's scary, but we'll do it. So we did the video, and all of a sudden in the video, he just like screams and freaks out, and he's like, open the door, and he like can't get the door open, and he runs out. Well, anyway, if you watch the video, right before he screams, the closet door opens. Jess has seen that one, right? Yeah, and it opens, right? And we were the only two people in the room. It starts to open, he screams, and we flee the room. Another really creepy one. Oh, go ahead. Someone was saying something.
I was just saying, wasn't that the one too? Because I remember watching it and being like, one of you said something like, come in. Mm-hmm. Like you said that phrase, and that's when the like closet door opens.
Right before.
And I was like, that's kind of crazy.
It's creepy. And then there was like the window in that room broke from the inside. That was a weird one. My drums played themselves once. There was
the drums is the only one I witnessed was the drums.
So you witnessed something. Yeah.
Yeah,
because that's the thing with all this.
But that could be seismic activity.
It could be.
And I know. I want to believe things. I just have to be super skeptical because the world is full of con artists.
Yeah,
you know,
I'm one of
them. So, I gotta. That's right, gaslighting me. Jeez,
no, it's good. You should be skeptical, and there definitely could be other reasons for this. But it was playing like the exact beat of Vicarious. Da over again.
That was just Maynard messing with you.
That'd be great. I would take that explanation. I'd be very happy with that. Let me just go through really quick since we're already here. In the middle of the night, I heard scratching on the walls from the inside of my bedroom. Like slow. According to the exterminator, we didn't have vermin. And then final one, I'll say, I was again sleeping there alone. And I started to hear footsteps coming up the stairs towards my bedroom. And so I don't want to see anything scary, especially like a scary, grotesque corpse face. Yeah, it's not for me. So, so I cover my head with my blanket, and I literally hear footsteps come into my room, up to my bed. And then I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to see something terrible. I just like, you can spook around and scare, but I don't want to see you. And then it turns around and leaves. And then I left and drove around the rest of the night. Like it was like 2 or 3 in the morning, and I did not want to come back. So anyway, I lived in a haunted house.
That's an impressively haunted house.
Or a house that has many explainable phenomenon that I don't know how to explain.
They're very strange, but maybe.
So... Anyway, Halloween diversion.
The thing is, like, I have a weird thing where people will take me into the like most haunted places. They swear things are happening. all of the time, and like nothing ever happens, and they're very baffled by it. So I'm like, either there's something weird going on with you in your head when you're alone, or
Maybe.
I scare everything away. So I don't know what
See,
the deal is.
My thing is, I don't have like an explanation I cling to. It could be lots of different things. I'm just kind of, those are the experiences I had. I'm not saying what they are. You know, there's lots of weird things it could be. The apparition one is probably the one I go to the most, and then the closet door closing thing or opening, because you can actually see it.
You should have stood there longer. We could have had our own.
No, dude, it was scary as hell.
Activity.
He was screaming in my ear. He screams like someone's gonna murder him. And I asked him, like, why did you scream like that? I've never heard. And he just said he got like this feeling like in his chest, like, get out of this room. Would BreakmanX? Would you like to see this video on YouTube, BreakmanX folks? I can put it up there sometime.
I think you got to put all your paranormal evidence out there for the world to
Jess,
see.
should we do one of those for social media for October? I'll collect my
absolutely.
footage. Okay, I'll collect my footage.
should.
I'll tell the stories.
The BreakmanX.com found footage edition.
The break lost his
look,
mind.
We've got Zach Baggins' Haunted Museum out here. We could use another wing on that. We'll make a BreakmanX wing.
Yeah, we'll be
Hanging
like
off the
the
side.
new.
Yes.
Yeah. What's the couple that you went to their house, the museum with the Annabelle doll?
Oh, the Warrens.
We'll be the new Warrens.
Warrens. Oh, the Warrens.
Yeah, you don't want that that title though.
I know.
Given a few things that we know about Ed now. So
yeah, I know. I know. Well, back to games for a minute. Are there any games that scared you? Maul.
Pre PS3, Xbox 360 era.
Yeah,
that's a tricky proposition, because like I kind of wanted to just talk about when we were mentioning this before, like how different the idea of a horror game was prior to like I'll say that the turning point was probably like more like Resident Evil, for a lot of people. In particular part 2, which I think was like where it really came into its own and became like a really scary game. And it wasn't quite as campy with bad dubs, the Jill sandwiches and all that. But yeah, I think like one of the first game that I had like picked up or rented that was marketed as a horror game was like Abadox. And like just how like unscary everything is. Like it makes it scary. It's just like like the pixel art's goopy. That's about it. Yeah, you really have to stretch your imagination.
I like that game though. It's a fun shooter.
It's fine. Yeah, I just I got into the hype of the ads and the pictures. Like, oh my god, this game's gonna be like terrifying. And
it's definitely not terrifying. I love the sound when you shoot the boss though. That I can't do it, but you know what I'm talking about. It's like so deep and like you really think you're like shooting the hell out of whatever you're shooting. Very satisfying.
Yeah, there's that.
You know the sound I'm talking about?
Yes.
When you hit the okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's not paranormal.
To be fair, I think Life Force is a little creepier than Abadox when it gets down to it.
Yeah. It's certainly got the goop factor in that one too.
Yeah.
See, goop doesn't scare me. I mean, gore and stuff just doesn't scare me. It's the psychological stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I try to think like what games like really like actually got you like from the early days, in that manner. And it's pretty tough because there wasn't like
PS2 had some.
Yeah, PS2 has some. Yeah, I think still the graphical limitations of some of them made it hard to like make it really immersive. Yeah. But but I guess like ones like your Shadow Gates and things.
Oh, really, that's a good one.
Yeah, were really pretty good. I think honestly, if anything like from that era was really scary, it's still like PC.
Yeah.
It's funny because I think Halloween was like the first show you had me on way back in the day.
I think it was
and
on Halloween.
Yeah, and because like my first big thing was like digging up like a history of horror games.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
And
I remember that.
Like the one that stood out from the first list, and one that I've like its name comes up again and again, kind of over the years, and like not just as a video game, but also like the adjoining literature is like I Have No Mouth, But I Must Scream.
Oh yeah.
And like you get into like pre-PS2 era games, it's the ones like those that are actually kind of scary. You really have to dig around the PC stuff because the storytelling and the the video capture capabilities and stuff that were in those games can really tell a better like kind of, to use the word again, harrowing kind of a tale, right? And also like the kid gloves are off. Nintendo had some horror games, and they had more in Japan than they did in the US that had kind of like creepy themes about them, but they were still really limited as far as like what they were allowed to tell, by the company. But PC was just whatever, so people are dismembered. You're all in hell. What it's just think about it. Think about what that'd be like, and just make you cry a bit before going to bed.
I forgot all about that. That's Harlan Ellison wrote that, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I guess for those who don't know, that's a cool one. The game is hard to find an emulator for these days. Do they have it on Steam now?
Yeah, you can get it on Steam.
Oh, well, hell, okay. Well, never mind. Check me on that. But you guys can go out and check that out. It's like post-apocalypse. You are all living out our own future, where you are trapped inside of an AI that is trying to like figure out what it is to be human by torturing the last remnants of humanity like eternally.
That's not going to happen until 2027.
That's not a very long proposition there, Break.
I know, but like it's
one day
it's gonna get not good.
One day you look back on these days and say, those were the good old days.
Yeah.
Ugh.
When they were still humans. Yeah, those were better than when there weren't.
Yeah, honestly, I'm okay if we all get replaced by AI. We aren't doing so great anyway.
I don't want to be replaced.
Yeah, it happens with your kids. It happens with your toaster next. It's fine.
There's a lot of games that I've yet to play.
Well, when you get locked inside of the AI loop, maybe you'll have time to play.
There you go. That'll be. And who's to say we're not playing a game right now?
That's true. My boss seems to think we're all inside of a simulation. So
that's true.
Real life is basically just a more complicated version of The Sims. So
51% chance that we're in a simulation, right? Isn't that what they decided?
Makes me feel bad about the way I play The Sims.
That was great.
Just putting Sims in a room with no doors.
That's great. Okay, I think, is it my turn? Wasn't Jack just talking about? I'm just going to go through the rest of my list real quick, and then we'll get to the end. And then maybe, do you want to do a lightning round with your top?
Yeah, I'll do a lightning round with the rest of mine on this list, and then we can go to the other list.
Because some of these I've talked about Resident Evil, Code Veronica a ton anyway, but I talked about last week. But that opening with the dogs, that scared me. And I was actually, right before the show, I was talking with BreakmanX about how that was the game that really showed her games could be scary. Mm-hmm. She wasn't really, into that frame of mind. Fatal Frame was a game I really liked too. The PS2, the camera, clicky click. Mm-hmm. And then Until Dawn.
Until Dawn's a really good one.
PS4.
Although it's post PS3, but
never mind. I didn't say that. What? That's next week. Shh. All right, Jack, do your lightning round.
All right, so the rest of mine, Resident Evil 2, Phantasmagoria. I don't know if anybody's ever played that, but it's one of the weirdest, creepiest games. It's FMV too, so it's got a schlocky kind of feel to it also, but it's in that Sierra wheelhouse of like the mid 90s when they were doing stuff like that. The arcade shooter Chiller from I think it's Epix. I think it's Epic's. Same people that brought you Crossbow and some of those other light gun games of the early 80s. It's really weird. And then also Alien Storm for the arcade. One of Sega's arcade shooters that has some really creepy body horror stuff in it. So like if you like David Cronenberg stuff, Alien Storm would be right up your alley.
Just as a quick shout out to Chiller, my buddy who's on his Twitch channel X Mortis, also game themed, went to school to try to do video game development for a bit. Didn't finish the program, went a different direction with his life, but one of his professors, as I recall, was the lead developer of Chiller.
Oh wow!
He was showing me that game later. That saying that name just brought it back up. I remember this torture room scene where you're just like shooting the guys that are in the torture rack apart. Like, man, they're already getting tortured, but you gotta the level just blasting them to bits.
Yeah, it's a weird game. It's a super weird game.
Yeah.
I don't even know if you would really call it a game. It's more of like a shooting gallery with a torture theme.
Yeah, because they don't really move at all. They just sit there and you blow their guts out. You know,
that's not my cup of tea. I'm more into like the psychological or the paranormal. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that stuff. It's not my deal. Doesn't do anything for me.
It's a curiosity from the time.
Yeah.
Well, there's different sides of horror. Sometimes you get a Hitchcock, and sometimes you get Faces of Death. It's just whichever one.
Yeah. I
mean, I think there's beauty in all of it, but just for me, the psychological is really what hooks me. But all right, so let's get into the spooky themed. These aren't necessarily scary games, but they're games that have the spookiness to them, or Halloween. So I was surprised Jack didn't take these, so I took them. Castlevania, literally all of them. Well, PS2 had before, of course. But first Castlevania established that great schlocky horror formula, and the amazing gameplay, the amazing music is just absolutely fantastic. Has some great atmosphere. I can still remember the first time I played that game. We rented it, brought it home, and we played it in the dark. And it really felt like it was that scary. I mean, it wasn't scary, but it really felt like it had that ambiance to it. And Simon's Quest, I know folks don't like Simon's Quest, but playing that game for the first time, I played it all by myself. The music and the whole thing with that was pretty spooky. Castlevania 3, of course, probably the best one of those three. Really fantastic. It's the only Famicom game I own, actually, is the Akumojo Densetsu, which is it has the sound chip in it, and the box art's really cool. And then of course Castlevania 4, Super Castlevania on the SNES, fabulous. Ooh. Looks great. The Genesis one, and of course was there one on the PC Engine, Jack? I can't remember.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, not the PC Engine necessarily, but the Turbo Duo.
I was kidding because I was giving you an in here because I know you love it so much. It's great.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Rondo of Blood.
Yeah, no, it's fabulous, and we've talked about it a bunch, but it's great. Yeah, all these games are great. Symphony of the Night, Castlevania is just awesome.
Castlevania 64.
Maybe not that one. I like the PS2
scary in
ones,
a different way.
But yeah,
scary in a vastly different way.
I like the PS2 ones better than the 64 games.
The second one is interesting because of some of the stuff they try to do, but that first one is just terrible.
Really bad. So disappointing. All right, Jack. You're up.
So joke's on you. I actually did go with the Castlevania game here.
Oh, you did.
Kid Dracula.
It's a great game.
Now, I kind of wanted to go with
it's not
something
mainline.
that we. it's canon still though.
Yeah, it is.
But it's one of those games where it's not really creepy, but it is kind of monster themed, Halloween themed, and it is kind of a Castlevania game. You play as like a kid Dracula, and you go around and shoot the other monsters that are living in your house. It's fun. It's silly. It's like a I won't say dumbed down version of Castlevania, but it's kind of like an easier version of it. It's fun. You should go check it out if you got a chance. I don't think it actually got released in the US, but I think if you've got the Nintendo Switch Online pack, it's on there on the NES emulator.
I think it is, yeah.
And there's some other ways you can play. If you've got one of the Castlevania collections that got released for modern consoles, I think it's on there as well.
And the music's cool too. It has some like the Castlevania music, but they change it to a major key, so it sounds. It's just kind of like upbeat and like plucky. It's a cool game.
Yeah,
I discovered that one a few years ago. It's pretty cool. All right, Maul, did you have a not necessarily scary but spooky Halloween?
Yeah, honestly, I was actually thinking Monster Party.
Yeah.
On the NES.
Yeah. You know? That's a good one.
Like, yeah, that's a game that like
that
I never got the hang of it, you know. So like I rented it a couple times because I liked that it had just a ton of different monsters in it, or parodies of them, and it had some pretty fun music in it, right? And you know, and like I don't know, I was drawn to it because I liked monsters, and of course with the name. At the time, I was also collecting like Cracked magazine Monster Party.
Okay.
And you know, so that drew me in, all the weird parodies and stuff. But God, I could never feel like it has so many weird like mini challenges and bosses that like kind of like break the game's own rules and everything. Never could beat it. So I could probably go back to it at some point, you know, just to see like what's going on there and really enjoy the mysteries. You know, I remember there's some strange bosses. You go into the rooms. Like this pumpkin, I think this is the first boss, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Is this pumpkin-headed guy, right?
I just love
you go in a lot
heads.
of different random rooms. You can run back and forth on the map. And like some secrets I never got. Like early on, there's a one of the bosses is just dead already. It's a spider. That's just crumpled up in a room.
Yeah.
And he just says, "Sorry, I'm dead." And you click on him. I don't remember what the point of him is. I remember one of the early bosses is like a giant like shrimp tempura.
Yeah.
Just flies around.
Ooh, yummy.
Don't know what the point of that is. I don't know. The game was beyond me, but it was a fun time running around and just seeing all the monsters. So
wait. I found the spider. I love this spider. This is great.
Yep.
There you go.
That's it.
That is video game glory right there.
Yes, I found the next room I need to go into. Oh, all right, never mind. Don't know.
Sorry.
Don't know what's
I'm
going
dead.
on.
That's a great phrase. All right. Logan, did you have a spooky game or should we move on to Jess?
I do have one. Again, this isn't retro, but it's called Witch It, which is kind of an adaptation of Prop Hunt, which is essentially, you know, basically going around playing hide and seek by disguising as various objects in the map.
Oh, okay.
So the hiders are witches that have various different like powers. Obviously, they can transform, but then they have like different spells they can cast and that kind of stuff. And then all the hunters are witch hunters, and they're these like, you know, big like kind of lumbering player models. And it's not scary at all. The style is really like lighthearted and fun. They've got a lot of creative maps in there. It's a cool game.
It's awesome.
Cool. I just looked at it.
I don't think I've ever heard of it.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fun.
That'd be a fun one to play on the stream sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excited. That's going to be fun to do that. All right, Jess, you're up.
My first one is, and I've talked about this one before at length, so I won't spend too much time on it, but it has to be Luigi's Mansion. I mean, you take Luigi, you make him a Ghostbuster. I don't know how you don't have a great time with that. And the original one for the GameCube.
Yeah.
Exactly. The original one for the GameCube was just so much fun. And I remember that was one that I rented, and then I had so much fun with it that like I begged my parents to like let me go to the store and actually buy it. And that was like a go-to. I would go back to it all the time. It never got old, no matter how many times I would play through it and beat it. Mm-hmm. And it's also one of the ones that I feel like most of the games in the like series have been fun. Even the ones that like weren't amazing were still a good time, I think. So it has a very, very special place in my heart. And it's why I like Luigi better than Mario. Yeah,
that really showcased. And that first one was a really great technical showcase for the GameCube, too. I mean, it really showed how awesome the GameCube was technically.
Luigi's, I love that Luigi's crippling anxiety is like front and center.
Mm-hmm. And that
He's just so adorable.
Becomes his whole shtick ever since.
Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He's the anxious brother.
I just found it awkward that the animation of him like checking things out looked like he was like humping the furniture though.
A little bit.
A little bit.
I would have to play it again.
The couch and goes to town.
Oh my god, that's hilarious! I never have thought of that before, and now I have to play that game again.
Yeah, I mean that's how we all check for ghosts in the couch, right? It's just
Yep. Gotta give it the old 1-2.
Gotta put your hips into it.
Only if you're the vice president.
Is that what he's doing? JD Vance playing like a real life game of Luigi's Mansion around the house?
You gotta look that one up. You gotta look it up.
No, I know, but he should have said that was his excuse.
Oh yeah. Maybe that's it. Maybe that got him into it way back when. Oops. So my next game, Devil's Crush.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, no, I love Devil's Crush, and I love the music to it. The music is really, really awesome. But it's probably my favorite video pinball game. I really love it, and the Japanese version that has the scary stars. America wasn't quite ready for the evil stars. So they made them Stars of David, which doesn't make any sense on the Devil's pinball game. But they did. But anyway, it's spookier when it's the pentagrams and stuff.
It's funny because they wouldn't be able to put the Stars of David in there now either. Like they really try to steer away from like all religious iconography.
Well, it's weird that was like, I don't know, that the whole thing's weird. But I guess they were trying to not have pentagrams. But it's just weird. They're like with all the demons. But the other cool thing about that game was the different rooms you could go into, and they were kind of like the boss battles and stuff like that. Those are really cool. And there was that scary face that would change throughout the game. But yeah, and that's really the only video game pinball game that I'll like regularly go back to. And the visual design of it's just very cool. It's really like 80s. Early 90s horror, which is such a cool period of all that stuff. So that's mine.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right, Jack.
Yeah, so my next one is actually another Nintendo game. It is Ghostbusters, the original Activision movie tie-in, which again,
that's a rough game, my friend.
Not creepy. I didn't say this was a favorite of mine. It's just memorable because when I was renting Nintendo, because I didn't own a Nintendo back when I was young, we rented one, and that was one of the games I rented because I was a huge Ghostbusters fan. And God, that was one of the so I did have an Atari 2600, and I did have I did have the Ghostbusters game for that too. And I'm sure you can believe how disappointed I was when I got the Nintendo one, and it was worse than the Atari 2600 game,
which is hard to do.
Yeah, it was just like, what is this? Like, it is terrible. Like,
that's
for the love of all that is holy, don't play Ghostbusters on the NES.
That's one of the more disappointing games ever for me, because I also was a huge I wore out our Ghostbusters tape that we taped off of TV. Like, I watched that movie so many times over and over again. But anyway, I remember when that game came home, I think we bought it. It was a present, like a birthday present. And I was like, oh, it's Ghostbusters and Nintendo. This is going to be amazing. And, at that age, because I was still pretty young, it was like, what's wrong with me that I don't like this game? Like, it's Ghostbusters. It has to be good. Like, why am I not figuring out what it is that's good about this game? You remember that part where you're like running up those stairs? Like, and it's like they controls terribly. You basically have to have an NES advantage to get up the stairs. It's not good.
Yeah, the hard part with that game.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say is that in retrospect, like Ghostbusters as a kid, we're like, oh yeah, busting ghosts, saving the day, cool. The movie's actually about capitalism and and free market, because they leave their school jobs. It's just three guys starting a business in the an untapped free market thing. A lot of it's about money and them trying to get around government environmental regulations.
It is
right.
Yeah.
And that is the part that the makers of that video game leaned into, because there's a lot of economic micromanagement in that game, and you can't beat the game.
It's true.
No matter what you do to stay Puff Marshmallow, you cannot beat the game unless you've earned enough money to do so.
Just like life.
Now, I will say one little caveat to this whole thing. If you want to play a fun Ghostbusters, or at least an average Ghostbusters game, go play the real Ghostbusters arcade game. It's like a 3-player top-down shooter. It's decent, and it's got a better version of the Ghostbusters theme song than just about anything else.
Yeah, that's pretty all right. Man, poor Winston, though. Why does he always get left out? Like, he was my favorite Ghostbuster. Maybe Egon because of the Twinkie joke, but in the cartoon, Winston is like the man. Yep. But he is not on the movie poster. He gets the least screen time. He's not in the video game.
Yeah.
I was watching this interview with him where he was talking about how he just kept getting cut. Like, they just kept cutting more and more from the movie of him. But for games, the Ghostbusters 2 Japanese game is pretty good too.
I haven't played that one.
The one that didn't come out here is probably the best of the NES Ghostbuster games. But yeah, what a stinker that first one was.
That's bad.
Bustin' did not make me feel good. The best thing about it was it had the Ghostbusters logo on it. After that, I want to go play it now, though. I want to beat it.
Oh, good luck.
I mean, I wish you luck.
Yeah, more power to you, man. Oof.
Maybe I'll just watch a long play. All right.
Sometimes that's the most satisfying way of doing it.
Sometimes, yeah. Maul, did you have another one?
Yeah, actually, whenever you think of spooky games, I'm often thrown back to Hugo's House of Horrors.
Ooh.
Again, going back to the old PC days. It's an old point and click adventure.
Oh, okay.
From it was a shareware piece, if you look it up. Yeah. From early Sierra, I think. No, maybe not. Maybe it wasn't from them, but it was in that era though. And
Gray Design Associates. David P. Gray designed it.
Oh, that's right. 'Cause it was like a one-man show, I think. Yeah. But yeah, it's a really bizarre game. It's one that my cousin, man, and God bless him for exposing me to so many terrible games over the years, because he's the reason I've played like Fester's Quest and Gilligan's Island and stuff like that, because he just picked strange games and we would swap them on our Nintendos. But he also was the first of the two of us to get a computer and had a lot of old shareware and DOS-based games and stuff, things that were on clearance at the time. And one of them, Hugo's House of Horrors, was just a bizarre, kind of like a Maniac Mansion in vibe, where you're just in a like a spooky house, but it's all like horror movie kind of gags. I remember that we never really finished the game because we couldn't figure out what some of the clues were. When you walk into the house, in the front room on the carpet, the first item you can pick up is a rubber bong. And we're like, what is a rubber bong? Now, in retrospect, I believe it's referring to like a piece to like close off like a test tube
Oh,
like a lid to stop one of those. But at the time, Beavis and Butthead was out, so we thought it was referring to like a bunghole. So like, is this a rubber crap in the middle of the floor? And so we just picked it up and had no idea where that was supposed to go. But in one of those games, I just like even though it's not a huge map, it's a decent size, but not huge. But like just wandering around and finding strange items and picking them up and dying in lots of horrible ways, getting acid dropped on us.
Sounds like
getting put into monster makers and stuff. Yeah. The journey was all that was worth it. We died hundreds of terrible ways in that game, and it was fun. So,
nice.
That's awesome.
And that's all that matters.
Point and click adventures. I mean, that's like half the fun is just point and clicking and seeing what the end result is, whether it's a horrible death or whether it's just a silly quip from somebody.
Yeah. Usually a terrible death and a snarky one-liner tossed your way.
Yep.
Ooh, shouldn't have gone in there.
There was a re-release of that game, Hugo's House of Horrors, for Windows in '95.
Oh, weird.
So still pretty aged at this point, but
he changed the names to Hugo's Horrific Adventure, and Gray said that he forgot why he changed the name. So no one knows.
I'll have to look that up now. Let me see. There's a couple games in that series with that Hugo character. I used to play that in the original Duke Nukem, which was a side scroller at the time.
Yeah.
And those shareware games, that was an interesting period. Like, did you get the floppy disks in the mail? That's how I got.
I don't know what he picked those up. It was my cousin got them. I think he got them in like thrift stores or the like the dollar store. I remember there was a chain of department stores in Lawrence. I don't remember the name of it, but it was like an early prototype of a Ross, where they would get a lot of warehouse leftovers. I bought a lot of Atari games from there as a kid because they were like $3 a piece.
Yeah.
I would just load up on anything I didn't have.
Awesome.
Including E.T.
Oh,
the best one.
Yeah, that's Halloween. That's Halloween themed. E.T.
Yeah, it is.
There's a Halloween bit in there. That's true.
Yeah, there's some cool Halloween shots in that movie. Actually, I love when they capture the Halloween street, kids trick-or-treating costumes and jack-o'-lanterns and it's foggy. The movies that have those shots in it.
Yeah.
I love Halloween 4, the movie. It's not obviously my favorite Halloween movie, but that opening with those shots around town, really get you in the mood for Halloween.
Let me throw out there, Break, since you're looking for some fall time ambiance. I saw a horror movie recently. It's not set at Halloween, or even in a town. It's kind of out in the wild. But I thought they had a great job of just capturing a cold autumnal kind of spirit. It should be streaming online for free here pretty soon. Go check out Good Boy.
Oh yeah,
that's a good movie.
Logan just saw it.
Excellent. Okay, good. I'm glad you liked it as well. Yeah, I think they did a great job for a very minimal crew. Of just capturing a great, fall kind of visual. It's very cold, very spooky, and I think with its particular brand of paranormal, I think you'll enjoy it.
Ooh. Yeah.
There are some interesting resemblances to what happened in your house.
Very exciting.
Well, I won't spoil it for folks out there, but yeah, very much recommended. If you guys, I think it should be streaming on Shudder before too long.
The house is for sale right now, by the way, if anyone wants.
Oh.
A haunted house.
No, thank you.
They should really hype that up. Maybe a ghost hunter will buy it.
Someone did die in there, by the way. I found out.
Yeah?
Oh.
Yeah, I found out when I was living there, actually. Someone had died in there. I don't know how long before me, but that house, the person that lived right after me, they randomly after a few months took all the drawers and left without telling the landlord. Just left. The person after that, every single outlet in the house exploded. They had to rewire the whole house.
Ooh.
It's just a weird place. Maybe they were cooking meth.
Well,
though.
I will say though, like, don't get too hung up on people dying there, because like, people have died everywhere.
It's true,
right? So that's.
I don't like to think that though. I don't like to. I'm not a like to think about that.
There's a lot of corpses on the earth, so.
As long as they don't visit me at night, I'm pretty cool with it. They can do their thing somewhere else. Don't play my drum set, Don't appear behind me in the video, like right here. Wouldn't that be creepy?
Yeah. What if they wanted to play couch co-op with you?
Stop. That would be so scary. Yeah. When Shadow
that'd be chill. That'd be a chill.
When
guys.
Shadow saw The Ring, he like never got scared by any scary movie, but he was so afraid of The Ring. And one night we were on some kind of communication thing. It was before video, so it was just it was video. It was video. It was like a super early video chat, and the TV was behind him. Like he had his TV behind. I was like, wait, what is that behind you? And he's like, shut up. If you say that there's a little girl behind me, I will never talk to you again. And I was like, your TV, like it just turned on. It's like very staticky, And I like went on this whole thing, and he was like getting really freaked out. So that was fun. All right, Jess, did you have a last one? Oh, can you talk about the DS one? If that's okay with you. I've never played that one, and it looks interesting.
The Goosebumps one?
Mm-hmm. I love Goosebumps.
Yes.
Evie and I have been reading tons of Goosebumps lately.
That was actually the one I was going to talk about because that was the one that I had like kind of forgotten that I had even played.
Forth.
And then I was just like looking up old games that were like scary that came out in that era, and it popped up, and I was like, oh my god, I remember that. So it was, I think it came out on a couple different things, but I specifically had it for the DS. And you play as this like little kid, and I think you could pick whether you were playing as a boy or a girl, and you get this ticket and an invite to Horrorland. And so you go and you get to play all these like little like mini games, and you've got to like build up this fright type thing, and then you're able to get into these different areas. There was a vampire village, there was like a lab area, there was a like terror, I think it was called Terror Tombs, that was like an Egyptian themed, and like all of it was like nods to different Goosebumps books.
Oh, that's cool.
And essentially you're trying to get out of Horrorland because it's being run by monsters, and you have now figured this out because your friend like gets, and I'm trying to remember, I don't remember everything like super clearly, but your friend gets like sucked into one of the vampire coffins, and he like disappears.
Oh.
And so like now you're trying to like escape Horrorland, and you end up trying to save this girl is like stuck on a roller coaster or something, and you try to save her. Her name was Gigi, and like you finally get out and you get to the end, and you're like, yes, we escaped. And then you discover that Gigi is in fact the giant monster that is behind all of this, and she tells you that she's about to like go off and turn the entire world into Horrorland, and then that's the end of the game. And it was like so much fun, and it was so cool, and there were like all these little nods to like the different Goosebumps books in it, like the different areas were modeled after different books that were popular like at that time. And I don't remember, I remember it being a very like short kind of game, not super complicated, but it being a lot of fun, and I played it all the time. And I'm looking, and I think it looks like it was on the Wii and the PlayStation 2 as well.
I'll have to check it out, because I was the perfect age for Goosebumps. Like when they first came out, I was in third grade. I was like and I freaking love those books. And now Evie's loving them, so we read them, which has been fun.
It's so much fun.
And so it'd be fun to check out that game for sure. All right, so we are at 10:30. So I think what we're going to do, as spoken of in chat, is do a little bit of a lightning round here with the remaining ones, so we can get through these and then head off into the spooky sunset. All right, so and also Kurama Yoko said that his favorite is Resident Evil 1 Remake for the GameCube. So that is a good one. It was a good one for sure. I need to play those GameCube ones again. I just love the particular look of those, the way they use the pre-rendered backgrounds and all that. All right, lightning round. So the rest of the ones I was going to talk, Splatterhouse, and also the Splatterhouse Wanpoku Graffiti, which is the NES kind of silly one. The end of the first level, you're like in a graveyard, and all the zombies and ghosts and whatever do a rendition of Thriller, which is pretty cool. But it's like a cutesy version of Splatterhouse. It's pretty cool. Not the greatest, but it's Splatterhouse is probably better. Then Ghouls and Ghosts, the Genesis version. I prefer that over all the other versions. A hard game.
What do you got against the arcade version?
The arcade version's great, but I just prefer the Genesis one. I like the way it plays better.
All right.
They're all good. I mean, you can't really go wrong with any of them.
It's true. It's a great game.
The Super Graphics one's pretty cool too. All the versions are great. You got to beat it twice, and then another one, Maggio, King of Demons for the SNES. This is one I only found within the last couple of years. It has a really cool vibe to it. Japanese only game that has some really cool monsters and spookiness to it. So if you haven't checked that last one out, I really enjoyed it. All right,
Very
Jack.
Cool. Yeah, so my lightning round, we got Rampage for the arcade or the NES. It's a fun, just monster bash 'em, you get to be a kaiju. It's great.
Boom boom.
Demon's Crest for the Super Nintendo. Again, following the Ghouls and Ghosts theme. You get to play as Firebrand from the Ghouls and Ghosts series, and
such a cool intro stage.
It's a really cool intro. It's kind of got a creepy vibe, but it's more than anything else, it's just a fun little action platformer. And then finally, Ghost House for the Sega Master System. I don't know if anybody's ever played this game.
Yes,
but it's
one of the few.
Weird it's like a weird platformer, but it's I always saw the box art. Whoever designed all the box art for the Sega Master System games in the US should be just punted from whatever seat they are currently in, because they're the worst. Literally the box art for Ghost House is literally a person literally holding the game cart in their hand, and it's it's a bat, and it's just cool. But the actual game, it's actually a lot of fun. And if I had actually when I actually saw the gameplay that was on the back of the box, I was like, okay, this actually looks kind of cool. I'm really intrigued to see how this actually plays. And it's a fun little platformer. It's kind of got a little bit of Pac-Man elements to it, but it's a fun little game, and it was better than I expected. And I think it was a cool little Ghost House game.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Maul, do you have any lightning rounders?
Well, I'm trying to find a particular game that I can find its title. I had it in my mind, but I could never think of it. I watched a couple playthroughs. You're a detective. It's like an FMV game, where it's not point and click, but it's all you're given multiple choices, and there's a lot of different story threads you can go on through the game. And I remember, of course, end boss is a vampire as you're hunting down this missing girl.
Is it like mid-90s FMV?
Probably so. Yeah.
Like Gabriel Knight?
Would it be Gabriel Knight? I don't know. Let's find out. Let me look and see here. No, it's too serious. This one's really goofy.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find the name. In the meantime, I'll throw out I think for me again,
Dying for Daylight.
What's that?
Dying for Daylight.
Let's see. We're gonna just name off every
Night Trap.
No, Night Trap is funny in its own way. No, again, see this one's too gothy. It's very they're trying to be like a noir, like detective noir kind of thing.
Okay.
I don't know. I'll look and see. In the meantime, I'll just mention that in the old days, a lot of retro games, it's not so much that they're actually trying to be spooky, but just as a kid, something creeped you out about them, Mm-hmm. So I will say, for me, Metroid I loved and generally was fine, but for some reason, if I let that opening music sit and play, it would kind of creep me out. It was just so quiet and ominous.
Mm-hmm.
Always got to me. And also, something that's not supposed to be scary, but definitely is, Mario 64 has a couple of bits that really freak people out. Most people, it's the piano. The piano will get them, you know, like every time. But for me, it's actually the big underwater eel thing.
Oh yeah.
Like I've almost got like a bit of submechanophobia, and I hate seeing that thing like swim through the limited visual range of the N64, and it just suddenly comes out of the mist, and it's just like right there, just chomping on you.
Yep.
It's always gave me goosebumps.
I've got something
Yeah,
similar
just like
with
that.
like
Break. Thank you.
half the enemies in like Echo the Dolphin.
Yeah. That one didn't bother me as much, but you know, yeah.
The eel is creepy.
So, like,
it has a creepy face. It's not there for a good time.
right? Yeah. No. It's the monitor fish effect. I don't know. It just bugged me.
All right, Logan, did you have any lightning rounders?
Not really, but I'll say I have played Pac-Man and there are ghosts in that game. And I wouldn't call it scary.
It's spooky enough. It fits.
There you go. It has
Good.
ghosts. You know, when I first heard someone tell me about Pac-Man and that you get chased around this maze by ghosts, it was a lot cooler than it ended up being. Like the way I imagined
I
it.
think Pac-Man's cool. It's one of my
I love
favorite
Pac-Man.
games.
I love Pac-Man, but I was imagining like spooky, scary ghosts, and then, you know, they're not.
Yeah,
But it's a great
okay.
game. Pac-Man, I mean, I can't, it's Pac-Man. You can't say anything bad about Pac-Man, but I was imagining scarier things.
Yeah.
Jess, did you have some lightning rounders?
I do. So all of the games that I played that were based off of IP that I loved, there was an Addams Family game that I had for the Game Boy.
Mhm.
There was like a platformer. You played as Gomez Addams, and you had to rescue everybody else from. They'd been kidnapped by Abigail
Yeah.
Craven, and so you had to go like save everyone. Yes. So super fun there. So there were a lot of games that I could have picked from the Nancy Drew series of games for the PC. My favorite, and I think the spookiest, was The Curse of Blackmore Manor. You had some werewolf type things, and you have to figure out like what's going on with this family and this old manor in England. But a lot of those games are kind of spooky, so those are a lot of fun. I remember having Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights, which I think was Xbox, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, I think so.
And it was a very similar thing. If you play as Scooby-Doo and the rest of the gang has been like kidnapped by a villain, and so you gotta like run through this haunted like mansion to rescue people. There were a couple Nightmare Before Christmas games. I specifically remember the Game Boy Advance one, which was the Pumpkin King, and it was like a platformer type thing set in that universe. And I think it was supposed to be like a prequel or something to the movie, I think. But that one was a lot of fun. Let's see, we talked about the Goosebumps one already. There was a Casper game that I remember playing, Spirit Dimensions, which was like more of a like action adventure type thing that I think that one was GameCube. And you went into different dimensions. I remember there being like a medieval one that was interesting, and then I think there was also a amusement park type one, I believe,
Interesting.
and that as well. I remember that one actually being scarier than a Casper game should be. I don't know if I would still find it scary, but I remember being a little bit stressed playing that one.
Yeah.
And then there was a Haunted Mansion game for GameCube, where you had to go through the Haunted Mansion and like free all these ghosts that were stuck there.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last one that I felt like kind of sort of matched the vibe, but like not really. But also I loved the show, which was The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. Had a video game.
Okay.
And if I'm remembering correctly, like it was just a fighting game. Like you played as the characters and you fought other characters from the TV show, and there was like no more depth to it really than that. But it was one of my favorite cartoons as a child.
You know,
So
I looked up that Casper game because it got me curious. The box art is pretty scary for Casper.
Yes, yes.
Oh, he looks villainous.
Like that's
Like it was-
that's scarier than your average Casper. He looks like he's down. He's like there for some business.
Mm-hmm.
I remember it being like more than it should have been for being Casper.
Yeah.
He wasn't a friendly
But
ghost.
but Wendy was in it, so that's always a win as well.
Cool. Well, that does it for tonight's show, Jack. What are you going to do this week?
I'm actually going to the Chiefs game against the Raiders this weekend. I'm going to be right behind the Raiders bench, so look for me on TV, probably yelling obscenities at one of the Raiders players.
Nice. Classy.
Yeah, very classy.
Logan, what about you?
Yeah, I'm going to be at a film festival in Wichita all week. Starting
nice.
tomorrow.
Which one?
All weekend. Tall Grass.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Been to that one.
This is my first time.
It's good. It's a good one.
What theaters do they have running that?
It's used to be all over town. Is it
Yeah,
still?
there's a lot of them. I think they're mostly downtown this year, but I'm pretty sure they're using Century 2. And there's the old Warren West got turned into a local theater called the Boulevard. They're going to be using that.
Nice.
I think there's a few others.
Cool.
Which one did you work at, Jack?
West. It was the Warren West.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, the good one.
And
I love the Warren West. Not the Warren Old Town was the one that converted to Bowl.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I think I misspoke. Warren
Sorry.
West is still there.
Warren West is still the good one.
Yeah.
all right, Maul, what about you this week?
Well, first off, Brig, I don't know if you heard, but your Regal Theater in your area is closing down.
I did hear.
Yeah, you only have one
Oh,
theater
no.
pretty soon.
No longer Regal.
Yep. No longer.
Only
a theater.
B&B's is left
Yeah.
in town.
That's crazy to me. Crazy. Well, aside from that bad news, though, I will be out doing Halloweeny things. I've got a trip to the Gilcrease Orchard here in town. It should be pretty fun. They got a big pumpkin patch and a bunch of farmy, good old wholesome things. And then I think from that, I'm going up to this weekend is the only weekend that they're playing Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein in the theater. And after that, it somehow inexplicably is going to miss Halloween and come out on Netflix next month. So I wanted to catch it before Halloween, so I hunted down a venue for this weekend. So
Yeah,
I'll be checking that out as well.
That was a good idea.
That orchard looks
I might
tight.
need to go see that one in Wichita.
If you can see it. And yeah, the orchard's really nice. They always go kind of big around this time of year. Big,
Yeah, it
big
looks
pumpkin
really-
patch.
Looks really cool.
yeah.
I was looking up. Awesome. And what about you, Jess?
Fresh cider donuts.
I saw those too.
I think I'll probably be spending the majority of the following week just writing and working on stuff. But I also found a couple kind of spooky, more kind of story-oriented point-and-click type games that will hopefully
Cool.
not irritate my tendinitis too much. So I'm hoping to get to at least one of those that I can kind of chill and play with my brace and not anger anything too much.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, it's been really fun. It's been nice to see the views on, especially a lot of the shorts really pick up on the site. So it's nice to see all you new viewers and subscribers. Really appreciate it. Hope you all have a happy continuation of your spooky week and that there's no hidden voices on this recording. And we'll see you same time next week on the game show.